Board of Directors of the School District for the City of Allentown for today, September 22nd, 2022. Prior to tonight's meeting, an executive session was held to discuss confidential and legal matters. The board welcomes and invites public comment. You may address the board on agenda and/or non-agenda items, and the first opportunity for comments at the beginning of the meeting is limited to agenda items only. If you choose to address the board, fill out a comment card located at the podium near the exit door and hand it to Deputy Superintendent Ramos. Once you're recognized, please come to the podium, state your name and city of residence for the record, and we will ask you to kindly limit your remarks to 3 minutes. Mr. Secretary, can you please call the roll?
Ms. Brown, Ms. Conover, Ms. Harris, Ms. Matheson.
Here.
Mr. Miller.
Here.
Ms. Ortiz, Mr. Palmer,
Present.
Mr. Thiel,
Here.
Ms. Wilt.
Here.
7 members present.
Please join me for Pledge of Allegiance, followed by a moment of silence. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Good evening. Later this evening, Mr. Hargett will read into the record an obituary minute and resolution in honor of Angela Kim, who tragically passed earlier this month. I wanted to take this moment during my remarks to say that we are very deeply saddened by Angela's passing and to extend condolences to all of the family and friends and loved ones of Angela. She was a dedicated team member employed by the district as a paraprofessional since 2019. Also a proud Deer of Husky graduate from 2015. I did not know Angela personally, but I do know members of her extended family, and I know that she was well loved and lived a life of grounded in community and service. And on behalf of my colleagues, I would like to offer our most sincere condolences to all who are saddened by her tragic passing. So with that, I would just like to say that we are keeping the entire family in our hearts and our prayers. Thank you. Dr. Stanford, do you have any remarks?
Madam President, yes, I do. Thank you. Good evening, Board of Directors. I would like to take this opportunity during the superintendent remarks to address the lockdown and subsequent investigation that took place at Allen High School. The safety of our students and team members is our most important responsibility. We remain constantly vigilant to ensure a secure environment within all of our school buildings on a daily basis. Based on my 20+ years of training and experience in education, I believe the principles we followed and the actions taken were fully responsive and appropriate given the flow of information and the crisis at the moment. It is a best practice for school districts to collaborate and cooperate with law enforcement agencies in this type of situation. It is also a best practice that when law enforcement shares that an investigation is still pending, the school district should not make statements or take actions that would impede or interfere with that investigation. We did not receive information that the investigation was complete until we received DA Martin's press statement around 5 p.m. yesterday, which was at the same time it was released to the media. Last week and in the coming days, the information shared with families and the media by Principal Clark and our leadership team was accurate at the time it was released. It was released at the end of the day in an attempt to clarify the situation at the school and to share as much information as possible without interfering with an ongoing investigation. We understand that this process has been frustrating. We have heard your concerns, and we are working to address your concerns. Please know that throughout this entire process, Allentown School District and the Allen High School administration were in constant communication with the Allentown Police Department and our crisis leadership team here in central office. I do not have any reservations or a lack of confidence in the actions taken by our team or the Allentown Police Department as a result of our collective efforts that day and in the days following. Thanks in part to our ongoing crisis and emergency management training with the Allentown Police Department and a special session that was held at our Administrators Leadership Academy in August, our team appropriately responded to an evolving situation in a building with over 3,000 individuals. As part of our process, we debriefed with all involved to review the security measures and procedures in place to ensure the protection of our students and staff. That said, Allentown School District will continue to review the security measures and procedures in place at all of our schools to ensure that we continue to keep students and staff safe from all potential threats. In light of this, I have already spoken with Mayor Turk, and we plan to conduct a joint incident review with Allentown School District, the City of Allentown, and the Allentown Police Department. This incident demonstrates that shared responsibility between the local police and school district staff to keep our community safe is imperative. Through this collaboration and training, Allen High School was searched and the student who had a weapon was escorted from the building by APD without incident. It is, however, troubling and regretful that an incident in the community concluded with a student bringing a weapon into one of our schools. However, we can be grateful that the actions of the Allentown Police Department and the Allen High School team ensured a peaceful resolution that day. Again, I want to reiterate, we have heard your concerns. I have received the emails from teachers and students who were concerned over the actions taken by Principal Clark and this administration. Some feel that we were less than forthright. I want to clearly state that as a professional and a person of faith, there are certain words that I believe are non-productive and inflame situations like this where tensions are already high. One of those words is lied. This is a problem for me because it infers an intent to deceive. Principal Clark and I share the same values. Neither one of us would intentionally mislead anyone. The actions and the statements that were issued that day were reflective of the best information we had at the time, given the fluidity of the situation on that day and taking care to not impede the investigation in the days that followed. As a professional dedicated to continuous improvement, there are things we can always do better. And we will continue to look at our processes, including how we communicate and what we can and cannot share during a crisis situation. I will close by saying that the safety team and administrative team did everything they could to keep our community safe that day. This will always be our top priority and focus as we manage difficult situations impacting our schools. But again, let me be clear. We hear your concerns. We will work with you on your concerns. We will partner with the mayor and with the police department to review this situation, and we will continue to grow and get better as a community. This is my commitment to you. Madam President, members of the board, that concludes my remarks.
Thank you, Dr. Stanford. Are there any agenda items
No.
requested to address the board? May I have a motion for the approval of the minutes?
So moved.
Mr. Miller, is there a second? Mrs. Conover, is there any discussion? Seeing and hearing none, please call the roll.
Ms. Conover? Ms. Matheson?
Yeah.
Mr. Miller?
Yes.
Mr. Palmer?
Yes.
Mr. Thiel?
Yeah.
Ms. Wilt?
Yes.
Ms. Brown?
Yes.
7-0 passes.
Thank you. Ms. Brown, is there an update from the Human Relations Commission?
No, our next meeting is in October.
Okay. I do have some notes. The library board met just this past Monday, and some of the highlights from the librarian report are that there's a mix of online and inline person programming coming up. There's an adult book club that starts September 27th. They are offering tech Tuesdays held in person each week at 9:30. Learning how, and this is for, I would imagine, older adults. Internet searching, computer basics, using an overdrive, things like that. I think this is important for the community to know. Domestic violence awareness presentation will be on October 11th at 6:30, and it will be presented by Turning Point of the Lehigh Valley, and it will be held at the library in their community room downstairs. Their youth programming is just began on September 19th. They have STEM programming Mondays from 5 to 6 p.m. For families who have students who are interested in anime, they have an anime coloring club on Tuesdays. Anyone who has a budding artist in their home, there's Drawing with Audrey on Wednesdays. I'm not sure where it's coming from. And then if you have folks that are like Legos, there's a Lego club on Fridays. And story time. So check out the library's website. There's a lot of wonderful opportunities out there and programming that they provide. And then one last thing I want to share is that they will be hosting, and maybe some of you have seen this on social media, they are hosting a used book sale tomorrow, Friday, September 23rd, and Saturday, September 24th from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. Again, in the basement in their community room. So thank you. Patrick, is there anything that you recall from Parks and Rec?
The only thing of consequence was the hiring of new positions from the Parks and Recs department. There are some that have been posted online. Well, not yet, but they are going through the description and looking forward to posting those online.
Thank you. And the one thing that I did see on online is that the King and Queen of the Court programming is starting up, and that's for younger aged city residents who are interested in learning skills and drills around basketball. So if you have anybody, basketball players out there, check out the Parks and Rec website. There's information there on when that is being offered. And I believe that's part of our Lights On program. They offer that programming in some of our buildings. So. And then Ms. Ortiz is not with us tonight, but she did share with me an update for the foundation. So I'm just going to read some of the report that I was given. The ASD Foundation is pleased that the middle school dance program has begun at all 4 middle schools and is an after-school activity. Weekly lessons will run from mid-November when the program culminates in the annual Latin dance competition, which is tentatively set for November 16th. The foundation's middle school strings program at Robb Middle School will begin on October 6th. All students at Robb are invited to participate, and lessons occur during the day at no cost to the students. The first literary volunteer orientation will be held on October 5th at 1 p.m. at Hayes Elementary. Literary volunteers assist with literary activities in a kindergarten or first grade classroom for 1 week or more per month. Classes and attendance at an orientation session are required, and pre-registration is also required. Anyone interested should contact Vicki Newhard, who's the foundation administrator, at 484-765-4121. And members of the community and corporate groups are encouraged to participate and help us reach the goal of every student reading on grade level by 3rd grade. It's time again for ASD educators to think about their ideas for the teacher innovation grant proposals. Question and answer sessions will be held on Tuesday, September 27th at 12, 12:30, 4, and 4:30 via Zoom. Final proposal deadline for teachers to submit is Friday, October 21st, and applications are available at the foundation website. Again, people can contact Vicki Newhard with questions or to get the Q&A link for the Zoom informational session. And finally, the foundation would like to thank everyone who came out to their booth at Art in the Park last Saturday. It was a great turnout and they were delighted to have art from the 2021-22 school year. And the foundation looks forward to offering artist residencies again this fall. And that is their report. Is there a report from the Lehigh Career and Technical Institute?
We do not meet till next week, so no, not tonight.
Okay. Safety Task Force? The City Youth Initiative?
The meeting last month was canceled due to vacations. There is a meeting coming up this Tuesday at 5 p.m. at the City Hall.
Thank you very much. That brings us to our Board of Directors report. If I could ask for the motion first, and then I'm going to ask Mr. Hargett to read the resolution into the minutes for us. So is there a motion? Mr. Matheson, Mr. Miller seconds. Mr. Hargett, would you please?
Call roll.
No, read the
Oh.
resolution.
Sure. It is with sincere regret and deep sorrow that we record the death of Angela Joachim on September 6, 2022. In recognition thereof, the Board of School Directors submits the following obituary minute and resolution. Whereas Angela Joachim was a faithful and devoted employee of the Allentown School District for almost 4 years, and whereas in her position as a paraprofessional at Louis C. Dirf High School, she carried out her duties in a caring and professional manner, and whereas she treated her colleagues, other staff, and students with a cheerful attitude and willingness to help, and where she exhibited passionate commitment to the education of students, and where she provided the students of Louis C. Dirf High School with a pleasant and encouraging learning environment, and whereas her passing is marked by a deep sense of loss across the district. Be it resolved that the Board of School Directors take note of the untimely death of this faithful employee by causing this obituary minute and resolution to be spread upon the permanent minutes of the board this 22nd day of September 2022, with a copy to be sent to her bereaved family. Respectfully submitted, Nancy Wilt, President, Lisa A. Conover, Vice President, Latarsha Brown, Phoebe D. Harris, Audrey Matheson, Nicholas Miller, Jennifer Lynn Ortiz, Patrick Palmer, Charles F. Thiel.
Thank you, Mr. Hargett. Also so if at this point, is there any discussion on either that or the other item on the Board of Directors report? Seeing and hearing none, please call the roll.
Ms. Matheson?
Yeah.
Mr. Miller?
Yes.
Mr. Palmer?
Yes.
Mr. Thiel? Ms. Wilt?
Yes,
Ms. Brown?
Yes.
Ms. Conover?
Yes.
7-0 passes.
thank you very much. May I have a motion for the approval of the Secretary and Treasurer's report?
So moved.
Ms. Brown is seconded by Mr. Biller. Is there any discussion? Seeing and hearing none, please call the roll.
Mr. Miller?
Yes.
Mr. Palmer?
No.
Mr. Thiel?
Yeah.
Ms. Wilt?
Yes,
Ms. Brown?
Yes.
Ms. Conover? Ms. Matheson?
Yeah.
6-1 passes.
thank you very much. May I have a motion for the Superintendent's report? Ms. Conover, is there a second? Mr. Miller, is there any discussion on the Superintendent's report? Mr. Palmer?
This is for the approval of the memorandum of understanding, correct?
I'm sorry.
This is for the approval of the memorandum of understanding, correct?
It's for items 9.2, Exhibit A, Memo of Understanding, 9.3, Exhibit
Yeah.
B. Yes.
I just want to say, if this does get approved, I would like to not necessarily rubber stamp this going forward. I know that this is a contract, but I need to start seeing something that shows that it is actually working. They're providing anything of any recourse, numbers, anything that shows what they are doing in our communities, what they are doing in our schools, what they are doing to assist for the communities and schools going forward, just if we are going to keep approving a contract like this.
So Exhibit C.
Yes.
Thank you. there any other comment? Duly noted, Mr. Mr. Palmer. There's no other discussion. Please call the roll.
Mr. Palmer,
Yes.
Mr. Thiel.
Yes.
Ms. Wilt,
Yes.
Ms. Brown,
Yes.
Ms. Conover, Ms. Matheson, Mr. Miller,
Yes.
7-0 passes.
Thank you. May I have a motion for the approval of the personnel report? Ms. Matheson, is there a second?
I'll second.
Mr. Miller? Is there any discussion? I would just like to say, as always, for me, sometimes when I'm looking at the personnel report, I see people retiring that have had an impact on many students in our community. And I was pleased to see this in this report, a young woman on the report that actually is a not too distant graduate of ASD, who's coming back to be a music teacher in one of our elementary schools. And I was very thrilled to see her name on the report. So for those who are stepping down, thank you for your service, and for the long list of those who are joining ASD, welcome to our district. I hope that it is a long partnership. Any other discussion, comments? Please call the roll.
Ms. Conover, Mr. Palmer,
Yes.
Mr. Thiel.
Yes.
Ms. Wilt,
Yes.
Ms. Brown,
Yes.
Ms. Matheson, Mr. Miller,
Yes.
7-0 passes.
May I have a motion for the finance report? Mr. Thiel, is there a second? Ms. Matheson, is there any discussion? Seeing and hearing none, please call the roll.
Mr. Thiel.
Yes.
Ms. Wilt,
Yes.
Ms. Brown,
Yes.
Ms. Conover, Ms. Matheson, Mr. Miller,
Yes.
Mr. Palmer,
Yes.
6-1 passes.
I have a motion for motion to accept the building report.
So moved.
Mr. Miller, is there a second?
Second.
Mr. Palmer, is there any discussion on the motion? Seeing and hearing none, please call the roll.
Ms. Brown,
Yes.
Ms. Conover,
No.
Ms. Matheson, Mr. Miller,
Yes.
Mr. Palmer,
Yes.
Mr. Thiel.
Yes.
Ms. Wilt,
Yes.
6-1 passes.
Thank you. All right, that brings us to the portion of the meeting for public comment on non-agenda items.
Sure. First card is Amber Clark.
Hello, Amber Clark, Allentown. I am here on behalf of our school. My daughter attends the Arts Academy Charter Elementary School on Union Street in Allentown, in the Allentown School District. And our charter is 3 years behind in being renewed. Oh, 1 second. So this is 4,500 sheets of paper. This represents the number of documents that our school has submitted to the Allentown School District regarding our renewal. And these documents were submitted in a series, hand-delivered in 8 binders, and we amassed these in 1 month. That's the amount of time that we were given to do that. And our school really needs this renewal, and the major thing that is keeping it from getting passed through the district is we are asking for an additional 50 students. The cap of 350 was in the original agreement, and we all know that the district agreements supersede charter law. But we are asking for an additional 50 students so that we can get funding for a gym and some additional arts programs. The bank will not sign off on our loan request until they have a signed renewal. So we are waiting and we are begging and asking. There's a lot of negative stigma around charter schools. The definition of a charter school, this is directly from the PDE website. Charter schools were created to provide opportunities for teachers, parents, students, and community members to establish and maintain schools that operate independently from the existing school district structure as a method to accomplish the following: improve student learning, increase learning opportunities for all students, encourage the use of different and innovative teaching methods, create new professional opportunities for teachers, provide parents and students with expanded choices in the types of educational opportunities that are available within the public school system, and be accountable for meeting measurable academic standards. This is directly from the PDE website for the definition of a charter school. And not every charter school is right for every student, and not every public school is right for every student. But we are just asking for those additional 50 families to have the choice of what's right for their student. Thank you.
Next card, Olivia Clark.
Sorry, it's a lot of documents. Whoops.
Okay. My name is Olivia Clark Ortiz, the daughter of Amber Clark, and like my mom said, if you renew our charter, we will get a gym, and I really want a gym because we get to get more active, and in the process of like getting exercise and like encouraging our bodies to get healthier and stronger. And a lot of the sports I like are in the gym, so that's another reason why I want it. Sorry, I'm very short. And I love my school because it provides a lot of supplies for me and my classmates and all of the other students in the charter. And I'm really happy that this school exists. That I get to learn like a whole ton of different things and like get a good education for my future, like college, and like saving up and getting educated. And I just love my school, and because it provides with so much, and that's basically it. All right. Thank you.
AEA President Leslie Franklin.
Good evening. I'm Leslie Franklin, the Allentown Education Association President, North Whitehall Township. I would like to address you tonight in light of the events that transpired at William Allen High School last week. The AEA Teachers Union would like the school board and the district to understand we're concerned about the incident and the effects it has had on our Allen members. Our office has received multiple phone calls and emails from members stating safety concerns, and their emotions are very high, as you could understand. We as a collective voice would like to explore further safety measures with the school board and the school district, because we all deserve to go to work and be in buildings where we feel safe and secure. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Lori Herzog.
Lori Herzog, West Allentown. Good evening, school board members. I'm here tonight to speak about shortages of workers in food service. Today's meal prep and serve students was 1,084 students today. Yesterday was 1,069. I have 3 openings now in my kitchen. I had 5. They said I got these girls in my kitchen, but I don't. They were taken to other schools. We're working with 11 girls in our kitchen, plus myself, the cook, and the assistant cook. I'm running around doing 3 jobs because we're so short. And my main objective is I love my school and my kids, and I'm there to feed them. And I make sure their meals are ready for them. But it's just getting really bad with it being so short. You know, yeah, they're handing out hours to the other girls. But as soon as somebody calls off, I got to close lines because I don't have enough workers. So I want to know what Allentown School District is doing to get food service workers in. It's not just my school that's short. There's like 20 jobs throughout the district. That's it. Thank you.
Last card, Abe Vassalanos.
Good evening, everybody. Thank you for your time. My name is Abraham Thalasinos, resident of West End Allentown. My kids also go to the Arts Academy Elementary Charter School. My daughter's been there since kindergarten. She's currently in 5th grade. And we absolutely love the school. The school has provided several different artistic expressions for the children. My daughter, through the school, has taken up a very strong liking to gymnastics from kindergarten till now. She's still going to the parkettes right down the street. As well, she's had the opportunity to learn how to play a ukulele and now a guitar, or it's called a guitarele. It's like a mixture, but it's dope. She loves it. It's amazing. The school provides these opportunities to the kids. Now my son is in there and he's a whiz at math, and he is obsessed with drawing, especially cartoon characters, anime, things of that nature. But what I put before you is just a paper to show you the long-term process that it's been for the charter renewal at Arts Academy Elementary Charter School. They've been there since 2015. They submitted it July 1st of 2019. Here we are tonight in 2022, still waiting for the process. Each and every single line you see there, of the 20+ lines you see there, is communication back and forth in an attempt to meet every requirement to be able to expand the school by 50 students. From what I saw online, there's roughly 16,000 students in the Allentown School District. 50 is not that many, but the significant impact it'll have for the 80+ kids that are on a waiting list, whether it's sibling related or family related to some of the kids who already attend, or they're just people who live locally within the community, just a couple blocks away is where the school is located. It's serving this community in a much more positive light. Both the elementary and middle school rank in the top 5 in the county as far as, forgive me for not remembering the website name, but they both rank top 5 in like parent approval. I think that's pretty big, and that speaks volumes, and that's why you heard from us 6 months ago to this point right now. So all we're asking is for your consideration, your time, your efforts, and energy to be put in to approving 50 students for this school. Thank you for your time. I hope you guys have a blessed night.
Thank you very much. No other comment?
No.
Is there any old business to come before the board? Any new business to come before the board? May I have a motion to adjourn? Ms. Conover, is there a second? Mr. Thiel, all in favor? Aye. Meeting adjourned.